Okay, so this is PageSense. PageSense is a website optimization tool. What it does, you're going to simply insert a little script into where your website is, and I'll show you how to do that. And we're going to create a couple what are called projects. So what you're looking at right now is the Edkins Group project that we have. We have it run, and we, to be honest with you, don't do a ton with it, but it's enough that it's gathering information. As you can see here, you can see some data points. You know, how many people are on the site each day. You can change it to what page, where are they coming from, what pages have they visited. So if you look at behavior, you can see the pages they visited over that period of time, how much time they're spending on the pages. And so as I mentioned in the other video, that was the overview of all the different products, or many of them anyways. I told a little story about Google Ads and running those ads. This is the tool I use to try to shape, okay, I need to adjust this and do that to drive traffic to the behaviors I wanted. And so I use these tools. So today what we're going to do, and because the whole idea is just get you set up really quickly in this crash course, is we're just going to set up a couple things. We're going to focus on the heat map, and we're going to focus on the session recording. Because once you get those two things set up, this whole thing can run behind the scenes. You switch on to looking at the other Zoho apps, you're running your business, then you can come back to this and we'll do another video that's a little deeper dive into each of these areas and how you can effectively use PageSense for your business. So right now, it probably won't make sense to really dive into these. Again, we're just going to focus on two areas, but I'll demonstrate it here real quick. So heat map, it'll show it here, so you'll see. So you can see by these little dots where people are going. So a lot of people come here and they're not pressing on this. They clicked on this a couple times, you can see. And then up here, we've got a couple clicks that are on the pricing. So you can see how many. There's one person that clicked that, and as I scroll down, you can see nobody's clicking on things, right? Looks like maybe we've got to click here on this to start a trial down here, which is interesting. So that kind of gives you an idea. Up here, where it had Get Zoho 1, they did not, but they scrolled through the page to this to see Start Your Free Trial. So that was more interesting, and that's where you place buttons, different places, you see where people are going. And then at the bottom here, it's interesting, which, get that out of the way. These actually should show, there, see some heat maps. 2 people clicked on YouTube, and 2 people were clicked on Facebook. So it's interesting, and then you have 1 on LinkedIn. So it gives you this kind of information. Scroll map is another one. So this looks at how people are scrolling through the page and how frequently. Are they just looking at the top fold, as it said, or are they going and reading more of this page? So this is a lot of what we did in changing and updating the page to get people to stay on it longer, to reduce the bounce rate, but also drive them to certain actions. And so we revamped this. As you can see, the color here, it's green. You can see as we scroll up, 100% of the visits, people are seeing this part of it. You can see that right over here. As you scroll down, that color changes. Now 76 people get down this far, 48 go this far. And this isn't bad. If you scroll down here, there's people scrolling down. And there's, 28% of the visits, 28% of the visits are making it all the way down the page. So that's pretty interesting. That's an interesting metric. So that's heat map, and that's where we'll get you started so you can start tracking that. Session recording is an interesting thing as well. So session recording is interesting. This actually records the actions that people take on the website. Now, as you can see by the far left column here, the visitor is kind of a clever name. Lovely Swan, Intuitive Crocodile, Elegant Squid. So you don't know who it is that's actually on the site, but you can kind of see their actions that they're taking. So you could just look at, let's go to the next page. Try looking a little earlier to see if there's anybody that really bounced around a lot on the page. So we're in the engagement page right now, which is where we have our different monthly options. And so you can see it pricing here, and they're scrolling. Now this page is kind of hard to tell what's going on because there's a subscriptions, a Zoho subscriptions or billing overlay right at this spot right here. So it has bullet points that show what those options are for each one of the selections. So there's not much scrolling going on. This is actually like a moving video behind the scenes, but the way it's rendered here, it's not really showing up. but we can go over here and skip pauses, but we're not going to do that. Go back to recording. So what I was doing with that Google AdWords is I would look through, okay, what are longer sessions and what are they doing with them? Because I mean, the ones that are seconds, that doesn't matter. But somebody that's 10 minutes, okay, what do they do for 10 minutes? And so we can see, all right, they're looking at the home page. What are they doing with it? Oh, it's interesting, the size of their screen. It's very, very wide. But here you can actually see they're scrolling, they're reading. You can see their mouse movement. So it can seem kind of weird, but and not that you'd have time to really look at what people are doing on your website. You'd have people on your team probably do that. But if you're a solopreneur, you might do that. Just see, okay, what this person's scrolling through the page. Why did they stop? Or where do they go? Now they're going back up. They might go clicking on, there you go. They clicked on a different tab at the top, which is going to take them to page 2. That's actually interacting with your website. So that's good. And just see how they're interacting with it. That's what this does, session recording. So we're going to get that set up real quick for you as well. I think to start, that's probably the 2 best things to really work on, at least again, to just have running behind the scenes. So as we work on setting up the other stuff of Zoho, and then, you might forget about PageSense in a month or so, and then go back and go, oh, okay, now I have some details on what's happened with my website. You might want to come back in here then and set some goals, like if they take action. You have down here at the bottom, you've got pop-ups. If you've ever used Sumo, where if someone's trying to go off your page, it pops up a little thing and says, hey, don't go yet. Maybe sign up for our newsletter. That's what the pop-ups are. So if we look at, oh, not that one. Let's go back to the other one. So as an example of it, go to booking page. You can see the pop-up types, slide-ins, banners, full screen. You've got examples here. You just grab one of these, or you can customize it, make it your own. So you can see here template, you can change it. And then you have what audience, is it someone new that's coming to the site that you want to show it to, or is it just everybody? So that's some other things you can certainly do here. So again, we're going to look at heat map and session recording. So let's get the show on the road here. Okay. So in your account, if you haven't added PageSense to Zoho 1 yet, this is the page that would show up. So what I did is I typed in here PageSense, which again, every Zoho product, whatever the name of the product is followed by .zoho.com. So I'm going to try to go in this, and it's not part of 1 yet. It's saying, oh, you don't have it there yet, but let's add it. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the PageSense. All right, in a moment here, I should have another little okay. Come on, you can do it. There we go. So it's been added, and now we can use it. Okay, so let's go back up here, and we'll say PageSense. All right, let's, we've got that. Oh, well, it's going to say this, huh? Okay, let's just use the educators group. Now let's call this. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the other screen just so I can show you this. So this is all you have to do is install this little line of code in where your website is. So I'll show you. We use Weebly just because we used it years ago, and there's no point in changing it right now. But in this header code, so if you look back at those instructions, so install, where does it say here? It says into the head tag. Okay, copy and paste that into your head, and it has online documentation too. So you can click on this and see what to do, but I'll just share with you right now what to do. So when you go into wherever your website is, settings, again, Weebly, it's in the SEO area. So I believe it is in WordPress as well. It's an SEO area. That's where you'd have your header footer code, where you'd put other scripts like where your Google ads go. And this is also, we're going to do this for Sales IQ as well. So you can see it's sitting right here. I just pasted it in there and saved it and published it, and that's what started tracking it. So once you have that in place, this right here, and I'll show you where it's at. Do not notify. Okay, yeah. We're not going to worry about goals. Yeah, let's do enable heat map, and let's do session recording. That's all we have to set up right now. Perfect. We're done. That's honestly all you have to do is just that sequence of setting it up there. That's going to start running the heat map and the session recording behind the scenes based on traffic to that site. And then we could just move on to Sales IQ or other apps that you want to set up. But this one is nice. Again, come back to it to dive into some of the areas. They have A/B testing, which is actually, they'll show certain pages to people when they land on the website. One person might get this type of page and one person might get this type of page. So you can see, compare and contrast, how do people perform on one versus the other. But again, you can get pretty complex with this. If you don't do the snippet originally, that one that we came to and I said, put it into the website, there's the option right up here. You can look at it again. So you don't have to freak out where to go. I think that's it. Let's move on to the next one.